Welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend and a great week overall, and you're safe from all the raining, like the storm that is happening to Miami and Florida right now. But let's start with like our tutoring. So basically, this is what we did last week. We finished with problem 12. This is all explanation. If you want to see what we did, you can always check the YouTube video, like the YouTube channel, and you'll find the video. And also always ask me. Come to the Discord channel and ask me if anything. But now let's do problem 13. So Andy is making paper boxes of different sizes. The supplies are limited. Andy restricts the volume of each box to 240 cubic inches or less and the base of the area to exactly 40 square inches, which inequality represents the range of the of the height age. So first, we see that the volume of the box is set to 240, while the area of the base is 30 square inches. Now, this is weird because algebra 1 is first than geometry, but you might know that the formula for volume is volume equal um base area times height. So if I know that the volume is 240 and the base area, like you see here, the base area is 30, I can just substitute the values and I'll get my answer very easily. Now I just need to divide both sides by 30 and I get that the height equal yeah height equal 8. Now, which inequality represents the range of the height? Basically, it says that restrict the volume of each box to 240 or less. So it can be 240. So like these are discarded because we got 8 in the answer, not 6. Basically what I was trying to say before is that they say that it can be 240 or less. So we can have like an equal sign, like we can do it. This does not represent the real value because if there is no equal sign here, then it will say that the volume of the box cannot be 240 when in reality they are saying that it can be 240 or less. So our answer is D. Now, question 14. Elia can spend up to $23 on groceries. As you can see, this is as I explained before, so they are basically saying that he can spend up to, so it can be less or equal to 23. So here I'm going to write less or equal than 23. Now, he wants to buy 3 pounds of tomatoes, 4 pounds of orange, and X pounds of lean ground beef. The tomatoes, like 3 tomatoes, and they cost 135, like 3 pounds. Each pound costs $135. Now, 4 pounds of orange and each pound costs $165. And then he went to buy beef. The beef, like X pound of beef, cost for like for $94 each. So now, write an inequality that represents the possible number of pounds of ground beef X he can buy. Find the value of X. So I know that it needs to be up to 23. Basically, I know that the value of X here is equal, like it's always equal, so we don't need to really worry about it. Our calculating it because we're going to get it. Now, what I want to say to look here is our calculation. As you can see, they're all equal. Basically, we could solve this problem without really like reading it. I just wanted to read it completely. Since you see like they're all equal here. The only thing that changes is like are these signs like here and here. Now, since the beginning, I saw that it could be up to 23. So basically it could be less or equal to 23. And as I see here, like this is greater, which definitely no. So no, no, and this is only less, but so it does not include the 23. So this is not. So our answer must be B. Oops. Wait. Mhm. Um, we can also calculate the x. We basically need to multiply and say um that 3 times 135 plus 4 times 165 plus x times 490 4 is less than 23 like 23 and at some point we're going to get that x is less than less or equal than 2.5. And that's what we see here. You can always do the calculation for your part if you want. Whoa, I don't know what I did here. Okay, now select the inequality below that represents the solution to that equation. So basically what I'm going to do is just solve for it. I have 6x plus 1 less or equal than 5x plus 2. So basically I'm going to take out 5x of each side. So this becomes 0. This cancel out basically. And I get that x plus 1 is less than 2. So now I take out 1 of each side. And I get that x minus less or equals than 1. And as I say here, I see my answer right here. And that's it. Now, absolute value equation. So, what is important to say about absolute values is that they are always going to have two answers. Well, the meaning of absolute value is that, for example, if I have like, I'm going to write it basically anything that is inside the absolute value is going, like, the result is going to be positive. It just means that it transforms either number, like all numbers to positive. For example, the absolute value of -1 is 1, and the absolute value of -15 is 15, but the absolute value of 15, like +15, is also 15. So they are always like the result is always going to be positive. That's the reason that when we are solving for an absolute value, we need to take into account that when we are like deleting it and just leaving the for x, it could either be equal for x equal 12 or for x equal negative 12. And we need to solve for that. So we divided both sides by 4. Oops. Wait. Okay. Sorry. We divided both sides by 4. And I get that 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So x equal 12 divided by 4, 3. And in this case, x equal negative 12 divided by 4. Since they have different term like signs, our result is going to be with a negative sign. So it's minus 3. And that's our answer for that specific example. Then based on what we did, we have negative a plus 2 plus 9 equals 6. Now, we don't have the absolute value isolated to one side, so the first thing we want to do is isolate the value to one side. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, and I have absolute value negative a plus 2 absolute value. 9 minus 9 is just 0, and 6 minus 9 is negative 3. Now this is a tricky question, since as I explained it before, all the absolute values of any number are going to be positive. So when you have this, an absolute value equal to a negative number, it just doesn't have solution. So you can put either this sign, that means that it doesn't have solution, or just put does not exist, or D and E for short. Because that's the rule that any absolute value can be negative. Then we have 3 absolute value for minus 3m absolute value equal 30. As I explained before, we want to isolate the absolute value in one side, so I divide both sides by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is just 1, so I have absolute value for minus 3m. And 30 divided by 3 is 10. So for absolute value of 4 minus 3m is equal 10. Now, since I already have the absolute value in one side, I'm just going to equal the equation to negative 10 and 10. So 4 minus 3m equal negative 10, and 4 minus 3m equal 10. I subtract 4 from both sides, and I have negative 3m equal 4 minus 4 is 0, and negative 10 minus 4, since they have the same sign, we add them together and we give the sign, so it's going to be negative 14. Now we divide both sides by negative 3, and since we have negative 3 divided by negative 3 is just 1, so I will have m. Negative 14 divided by negative 3 is just 14 over 3. Positive because when the two signs are equal and we are either dividing or multiplying, our result is going to be positive. So for this side, we subtract 4 from both sides and we get negative 3m equal 6. And then we divide by negative 3 and we get that m equal negative 2. Since they have different signs, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Let me make this smaller. Wait. Now, let's continue. Let's go to the next example. Now we have this example, as I explained it just in the one before. We want to isolate the absolute value, so we divide both sides by -4. So -4 divided by -4 is just 1. And we leave the absolute value as 5g. 5g minus 12 equal -12. Wait. -12 divided by -4, since they have the same sign, they are going to be positive, and 12 divided by 4 is just 3. Now we're good. Now that we already have the absolute value in one side and the integer in the other, we just equal the equation to the negative and the positive integers. So 5g minus 12 equal -3, and 5g minus 12 equal 3. I'm sorry. So we already have our equation, so it's just we just need to solve them. Here we first add 12 from both sides, so we can leave the variable in one side alone. So we have 5g equal 12, -12 plus 12 is 0, so -3 plus 12 is 9, and then we get that g equal 9/5, since we divide by 5 in both sides. For this one, it's almost basically the same. You use that 5g equal 15, since we add 12 to the both sides. So now we divide it by 5 and we get that g equal 3. And those are our values. Question 5. This is just the same as I explained it before. So we just need to leave the absolute value on one side and solve for the equation. So we just start 9 on both sides and we get the absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to 21. And so we equal the equation to the positive and negative in there. So x minus 3 equal -21, and x minus 3. Wait, x minus 3. Wait, and then this is going to be equal to 21. Is so let's just solve it. We add 3 to both sides and we get x equal -15. And here we add 3 both sides, so we get, wait, this is, yeah. So we get that x equal 24. And that's the result. This is the same. Now, an important thing that I don't think I said before is that when we have multiplication and division, addition, subtraction in this specific equation, we always want to like move the addition and subtraction numbers to one side and the multiplications to the other, so it's going to be easier for everyone. Yeah, for this example, as I just said, we first need to subtract 2 from both sides. So I get that 3 equal to d minus 6 equals 0. Okay, I like this one. So since you want to divide by 3 to both sides, but 0 divided by 3 is just 0. So I'm just going to put 3 child. Wait. He is shining. Wait. So 0 divided by 3 is just 0, so we have 2d minus 6 equals 0. This is the only time that you only have one answer when the absolute value is equal to 0. Since 0 doesn't have a specific sign that is applied to it, it can be either negative or positive. So let's just solve for zeros. We get that 2d equals 6. Wait, 2d equals 6. We divide both sides by 2, and we get that d equals 3. Then for the next one, as I explained it just before, we need to first subtract 4 from both sides, so we have 7. Absolute value 2c minus 6. Okay, 2c. You can see it right. 2c minus 6 equal 32 minus 4 is 28. Now we want to divide both sides by 7, so we have absolute value of 2c minus 6 equal 28. Wait, no. We need to divide both sides by 7. So 28 divided by 7 is equal 4. So 2c minus 6 equal 4, the absolute value. And since now we have the absolute value in one side and an integer in the other, the integer is not 0, we can say that 2c minus 6 equal equal 4. 2c minus 6 equal negative 4. Now we need to solve for this. We add 6 to both sides, so we have that 2z equal 10. Then we have that z equal 5. In this case, we add 6 to both sides again, but now we have the 2z is equal down. This is negative 4. So 2z is equal to, like, because we add 6 to both sides, so negative 4 plus 6 is the same as subtracting the bigger minus the smaller but keeping the sign of the bigger, and since 6 had a positive sign, so it's also going to be positive, and then c equal 1. Let me make this prettier. Here we go. And that's our answer. Now for question 8. This is almost the same. So we have negative 6, absolute value k plus t, close the absolute value, plus 24 equals 0. Now this time you see that there are things outside the absolute value, so we can just suppose that since it is only a 0 in the right, our value is going to be only 1. Is that not true? So we subtract 24 from both sides, and we have the negative 6 absolute value k plus t equal negative 24. So we divide by negative 6, and we have the k plus 3 equal equal 4. And it is positive because they both have the same sign, so the our result needs to be positive. Now I already have the value of the absolute value, so I have the k plus 3 equal 4 and the k plus c equal negative 4. And we subtract 3 from both sides and we have the k equal 1. And in this case we subtract 3 from both sides and we have the k equal negative 7. Let me make this prettier. Now for exercise 9, we need to solve for x. As I explained it before, there is always going to be two solutions, so let's not get confused with that. Now it's weird because we are not talking about number, we're talking about letters, but we need to treat the letters as they were like real numbers. So let's do it. We have the actual value one side by itself, so we can say that ax equal b, and ax also is equal negative b. When we want to solve for x, we just need to divide both sides by a, and I have that x equal b over a, and in this case, I have that x equal negative b over a. That's basically it. Now in this part is most the same. The actual values already organized for us, so we don't have to worry about that. We basically do that x does, no, that's x plus a equal b, and we also have a plus x plus a equal negative b. So when we are solving for this, we just need like to subtract for a from both sides, and we get here that b is equal to x minus plus, whoa, we need to add a, subtract a to both sides, so we get that b equal x minus, oh, basically that x is equal b minus a, and in this specific other case, this is the same. We need to subtract a from both sides, so x is equal negative b. This is not a c, a 6 is a b minus 24. I'm sorry for the cut. I wasn't planning to do it. That's the first time I really got in, like, edit any of these videos, but let's just keep going. Now, a company manufactures pennies number two, like number two nails, like penny number two nails that are 1 inch in length. So, the nail, each nail is equal 1 inch in length. Now, the actual length is allowed to vary up to 1 over 32 inches. So, the length can be there. Like, can be from 1 minus 1 over 32 inches. This equal the length. This equal 1 plus 1 over 32 inches, since it is allowed to vary that way. Because the normal that they are supposed they are 1 inch in length. That's the reason the one here. But they can vary by up. You see the up up to, which is the in the reason of the equal sign here, 1 over 32 inches. So it could be 1 over 32 inches less and 1 over 32 inches greater. So this is basically our equation. I'm going to put it here. So the minimum is going to be 1 minus 1 over 32 is 31 over 32 inches. And this is going to be less than x, which is going to be the actual length. Um, less or equal than 1 plus 1 over 32 is going to be 33 over 32 inches. And if we want the rounding, we can use 1 divided by 32, and we have that this is plus 1, and we get, I start with the right bound, but it doesn't matter, so I get 1.03125, so 1.031, wait, 125 is less equal x less equal. Now I need 1 minus, so 1 minus 1 over 32, which is going to be 0.96875. 0.96875 inches. Now, part B says a penny number 2 nail is 1.05 inches long. Is the nail acceptable? Explain. As we can see here, we already calculated the maximum and minimum values, and we see that the maximum value is 1.03, and this is 1.05, which is greater than that. So because 1.05 is greater than the value, the maximum value, and I will put the value 1.03125 is not an acceptable length for the nail, like the penny number 2 nail. That's basically the answer. Now I think I'll do number 11 and we'll finish for today's lesson. So let's read it. You conduct a random survey of your small town about having a town-wide garage sale. Of those surveyed, 56% are in favor and 44% are opposed. The actual percent could be 50 more, like 5 more or 5 less than the acquired results. Write and solve an equation value to find the least and greatest percent of your town population that could oppose to a town-wide garage sale. So basically we have that are opposed. So we need to find for the opposed. So we know that 44% of them are opposed. Now we know that it can vary by 5. It could be 5 more or 5 less. I'm going to start with the left one, which is going to be less. Left is always like less, the negative sign is always to the left, and the positive sign or more is always to the right. So 44% minus 5%. Now it says that it could be that the actual percent could be 5% more or 5% less. So the actual percent could be up to 5% more or 5% less. So I put less or equal than the actual percentage and I put an X. And I will say that this is less or equal to 44% more by plus 5%. And when we calculate it, we get that it could be from 49%, it could be less or equal than X. Oh wait, it's 41. It's minus. Like, this is 39, this is minus, I'm so sorry. 44 minus 5 is 39. I got confused for a second. So this is 39% less or equal than X, and 44 plus 5 is 49%. So less or equal than 49%. Now, our friend claims that half the town is actually opposed to the town-wide garage sale. Does this statement conflict with the survey data? Explain. Well, if you're saying that half of the town is opposed to the like the thing that you're surveying, you're asking, which in this case is the town-wide garage sale, it will mean that 50% of the people are opposed. And in this case, we see that the maximum amount of people that are opposed to it is 49. So yes, so yes, yes, that statement conflict with the survey data since and like analyzing it or basically visualizing it since when visualizing it, comma, we see that the maximum oppos opposition opposition percentage is 49%. And yeah, I think maybe I could do since I had a problem and I went out like for some minutes before. I can do like I'm going to do question 12 now. So next day we can actually finish with 13, 14, or 15 and start our next topic. So 12. Carlos and Aisha take the same bike route from home from school each day. Aisha lives 3 miles from schools and Carlos lives 1 mile further along the path. Sometimes Aisha bikes all the way to Carlos' place before going home. Write an absolute value equation that represents how far Aisha bikes after school each day. Okay, yeah, basically, Carlos. We say that Carlos. Wait, Aisha lived 3 miles after like for the different school. So Aisha lived 3 miles from my school. Carlos lived 1 mile further the path. So Carlos lived 4 miles for school. So sometimes Aisha bikes all the way to Carlos' place. So she bikes the 4 miles and then go back to her place, which is 1 mile behind. Now we have this. This is all the information we have. And we know that um okay. And we know that the total amount she bikes each day is going to be 5 miles. Like when she goes to Carlos' house, it's going to be 5 miles because she bikes one more going to Carlos' house, and that is represented here for a total of four. And then one more coming back to her house, so it's going to be five. Now I can say that she's going to bike the absolute value. I'm going to say that the absolute value of x minus 3 is equal 1. Why? Because when I solve this equation, I can say that x minus 3 is equal negative 1, and I'm going to get that, oh, 4, and oh, sorry, this is 4. I just realized it. I'm sorry. So I'm going to get that x minus 4 equals negative 1, and when I solve for x, I'm going to get that x equal 3, which is the value she likes like normally every day. Let me make this move it a little bit more. Oops. And this as well. And when I solve for x minus 1 minus 4 equal 1, I get that x equal 5, which is the amount she likes when she's going to Carlos' houses. And that's basically the equation I will write to it. I mainly did it thinking in like logically, and I know it's a little bit confusing, but I actually don't think that something like this is actually going to um appear in the exam, but it's always good to review. Um, that's basically how I will do it, just trying to look for an equation by logic that when you solve it give the true results you want, which is like represents how far Aisha bikes after school each day. So the answer is either 5 miles, the days she goes to Carlos' house, or 3 miles the days she used to go home. And that's it for today. I'm going to put the video. Don't forget to join the Discord where you can actually watch me live and explaining and ask me if you don't understand any something. For example, when we are saying any exercise as well as any doubt you might have. Um, thank you.